flip!
Well, here we are. Pixels, the movie review. Now, something I wish to say real quick is that I am actually in a pretty unique position to talk about this movie because in the span of a week and a half, I have experienced both the best and now the worst parts of the video game industry. For those unfamiliar, last weekend I went to SGC with my wife over in Frisco, Texas. It was unbelievable. It was hands down the best gaming convention that we had ever been to in our entire lives. Everybody was approachable. Everybody just wanted to have a good time, even when it came to the amiibo cockfight and the death battles and everything else along those lines. It was unbelievable, and you really felt like you were part of a gaming family, essentially. Everybody was just there to have a good time with everybody. It was fantastic. And now on the other end of the spectrum, we got Pixels. Remember when I was concerned that Wreck-It Ralph was going to be nothing but references the movie? That's Pixels. Pixels is essentially the Dane Cook of movies. There's no effort, there's no humor, there's nothing clever about anything that you're delivering, but throw in some 80s nostalgia bait and maybe something will stick. Pixels is the equivalent of Adam Sandler breaking into my apartment, throwing all of my retro games into a pile, lighting it on fire, and then telling me that I have to pay him $10 as he roasts a marshmallow over the cinders. So as a public service to anybody who happens to watch this video, I'm going to give you the nutshelled version of Pixels because screw you, Sandler! If this video prevents even one person from going into the theaters and giving you $10, Sandler, I've done my job. So, here's the nutshell version of Pixels. So back in the 80s, Sandler and his friends were really good at video games. In fact, they were so good that they actually could participate in a couple of tournaments and actually get pretty close to winning a few of them. As a result, for some reason, footage of that tournament and the games and everything like that are shot into space because the plot demands it. Cut the present day, and Paul Blart is president. Also known as the year that Americans just simply said, screw it, with the elections. Aliens intercept the satellite and take it as a declaration of war / challenge thing or whatever. So then they come to Earth, disguised as those video game characters, to compete in a set of challenges. First to 3 wins. Paul Blart calls Adam Sandler, the guy who ended up winning the tournament in the end, who happens to be the little guy from Game of Thrones or whatever, and some other conspiracy theorist nerd or whatever who apparently has the hots for this pixelated Xena warrior chick or whatever that was apparently a thing in 1982, which, by the way, complete BS. They did not have graphics that good in 1982. The military is useless, the nerds compete in the games, the aliens invade towards the end anyways, everybody defeats the aliens, and everybody goes home happy, the end, done! Personal shout out to my subscribers. You said you liked my rants, you said you liked it when I begin to lose it. Well, that was just my nutshelled version of Pixels. You want my gripes? Oh, I'll give you my gripes. Here's my gripes about the movie in no particular order. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, it's gonna seem a little bit like a mess, but who cares? The movie's a mess anyways. You wanted a rant? Here comes the rant. Everyone's performance is dead. I am not even kidding you. Sandler, the Game of Thrones guy, everybody else that they got in this, freaking Paul Blart, everyone's performance is dead. It's either 1, they didn't give a crap about the movie to begin with, or 2, they just got bored halfway through it or whatever. It's like nobody is having fun with this, and it's freaking video games, guys. Have a little bit of fun with this. They called gaming a useless skill in this movie. Yeah, a useless skill unless you're playing MOBAs right now. Remind me again, how much did the team that won the last League of Legends tournament win again? Oh, $3 million? Useless my left butt cheek. This is just another alien invasion movie. No, seriously. That is the best description I can have of this movie. It's an alien invasion movie with 3D printed models of 80s video game characters. And that's the sad thing. The 80s video game characters have no personality, no character, no nothing. It's essentially a 3D model of, like a 3D model of Frogger going, boing, boing, boing. That's That's it! The nerd's usefulness in this movie could have been replaced with research done on the internet. So let me get this straight. The military is trying to find a way to destroy these aliens that are taking the form of 80s video game characters, right? To try to understand their patterns, right? Did anybody think about calling friggin' Atari? The scene with Pac-Man, although it's kind of cool to look at or whatever, is absolutely stupid. So let me get this straight. Pac-Man is that fast, right? You have to chase him with cars because Pac-Man is naturally that fast, right? Well then why the crap are you chasing him with Mini Coopers? You're the freaking military! Get 4 Batmobiles, you've won! Also, why is it that the cars have to run into Pac-Man in order for the technology the same technology that you're using in the light guns to work? Couldn't you just, I don't know, mount the light guns on like a turret on top of your cars? You've won! Believe it or not, Pixels was actually inspired by a YouTube video that came out in 2010. And by inspired, I mean completely rip off. If you look at the video, 2 of the ways that the aliens destroy buildings and things along those lines in the movie were taken straight from the YouTube video. And you want to know what the amazing thing is? The YouTube video from 5 years ago looks better than Pixels. The part that sucks the most about this or whatever is that the premise in and of itself is, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the best thing in the world, but it had some potential there. It could have actually been pretty good or whatever. So then why did you get all of these deadbeat actors who clearly didn't give a crap or whatever? Get some people in there who are gonna have some fun with the premise. Get Tim Curry in there. Get Simon Pegg in there or whatever. Get people who are going to have fun. Arcaders? Really? That's what you're calling them? Arcaders? Idiots! Pixelated Xena girl. Okay, she gets her own segment in this review because up until this point, it was a pretty deadbeat movie or whatever, but still, I was going to give it about a 2 out of 5 because I was like, maybe it was the wrong cast. You get the right cast in there, it's not going to be anything spectacular, but at least it'd be kind of funny or whatever. Xena girl pushed it all the way down. So the pixelated Xena girl shows up all of a sudden or whatever and starts trying to take out some of the humans, and then the nerd that has the hots for her finds her. First problem, she suddenly transforms from the pixelated version into a high-res humanoid version of the actual being. No explanation given. What? But then it gets worse, because the nerd who has the hots for her doesn't want to fight her, and all of a sudden, she decides, oh, he likes me, I'm gonna make out with him, and I'm gonna turn on my kind and start killing the aliens. She's been on the ground for less than 5 minutes, and she turns on her kind? So something that's been going on in the movie as well is that for every challenge that happens, either the aliens or the humans receive some kind of a trophy, because who knows why. For the human side or whatever, they already got the duck hunt dog, and they also got Q*bert, which Q*bert is the only real alien that has any kind of personality or whatever, but either way, I still felt that he was a little bit annoying or whatever, but he was still likable enough just because he was there. When the alien invasion is over, though, and the humans win, little nerd who had his woman taken away because all of a sudden the aliens disappeared is sad because Xena girl is not there anymore. So then all of a sudden, Q*bert turns into Xena girl. So for whatever reason, Q*bert, who was the original trophy, gets turned into Xena girl, who is literally a trophy for the sad nerd to bone. What in the holy mother of crap were they thinking when they wrote this? Were they high when they wrote this? This is stupid! Okay. That was the rant part. Now, let me get to the conclusion and wrap all this up in case you didn't like all the screaming. This movie is a cash grab. It is the literal definition of a cash grab. No love, no effort went into this. This movie is the result of a boardroom meeting that Sandler had with his cronies and said, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make a movie that caters to the Gen X 80s crowd or whatever, and maybe we'll be able to get a quick buck out of them. This movie is the equivalent of somebody dangling a little figurine in front of you of an 80s character being like, hey, remember this? Do you want to remember
remember this or whatever? Pay $10 to remember this.
Every joke falls flat. There's no visual jokes whatsoever. You can tell within the first 5 minutes that both the writers, the actors, and everybody else who was in this movie clearly didn't give a crap. And the worst part is that the premise, although stupid, don't get me wrong, it's still stupid, but done with the right actors that could have had a little bit of fun with this, could have been somewhat entertaining at the very least. This is Sandler's lowest point that he has ever hit. And granted, I have not seen his recent disaster pieces or whatever, but I can't imagine that he would get much lower than this. And frankly, I don't want to see him come back. No, this is it. I do not want to see Adam Sandler come back. I don't care that he made some good movies in the 90s back when, he actually gave a crap or whatever, but at this point, I want him to fall so deep into that deep, dark, abysmal hole that he never, ever comes out again. That's why my official rating for this movie is a rocket launcher to the face out of 5.